Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to another episode of B is for Build. I'm Chris. We're back on the Evora. In this episode, we're going to be working on a couple different areas. We're going to be working on some electronics. I'm going to try and wire up a rear view mirror that includes a rear view camera. I'm messing with the tail light a lot. If you remember in the last episode, that was busted. So I've been tinkering with that with little success. And we're going to be doing a lot of glass installation in this episode. We have a lot of glass pieces that need to go in the car. We got door glass, rear quarter glass, rear hatch glass, and our rear view mirrors have glass in them and they need to be installed too. I think that's what's on the agenda. Who knows? Stay tuned. Alright, I'm going to be working back here a little bit because the battery is back here. I'm going to be playing around with a lot of electronics, and this is going to be the easiest access to get constant power while I'm playing with my stuff. So the first problem that I'm going to try and solve is we have this rear window. It's very, very small. And then you have to look through that, then you have to look through the hatch glass, and then the spoiler blocks a little bit of your vision. So I was thinking about it, and I needed to buy a new rear view mirror anyways. And so what I did was I ordered a rear view mirror that has an LED screen in it. LCD screen, sorry. It's about 800 pixels wide, a couple hundred pixels tall, so it's got enough resolution to actually show me a picture. So what I'm going to try and do, I've never done this before, I have no idea if it's going to work, but I'm going to try and feed that screen with a just a generic backup camera that I bought online. And what I hope to be able to do is to be able to have a screen in my rear view mirror that shows me the full picture from a camera that's somehow mounted on the back of the car, shows me the picture of what's behind me. That way I don't have to deal with the limited visibility through the rear window. So like I said, I've never done this before. There's not a lot of software that connects this camera to this screen. I doubt there's really much of any. So if there's even a small problem with the two not being compatible, it's not going to work at all. But I figured I'd give it a try, so I'm going to start plugging things together and see how it goes. Alright, I got everything wired up. I have not tried it, so I want to do a little candid tryout here. Let's see. So the camera's wired up. I got lights on the camera transmitters, and then there's this light on this thing, and I assume if we hit power, let's see if we can see stuff. Absolutely not. It would really help if I plugged in the audio video cable. Or it's just a video cable, not an audio cable, but I completely left them unplugged. So let me figure that out real quick, and then we shall see. Aha! Okay, where'd I put the camera? Where'd I put the camera? Oh shit! Check it out. So there's you guys on the camera. There's a little bit of me. Now. It does think we're in reverse mode, so it's got this overlaid grid on it. I will have to see what we can do about this. This one, it says the thing that I plugged into, it's actually for reverse mode. The other one's for DVD mode. So let me fiddle with this for a little bit and see if I can get it switched around. It's just a matter of a male versus female input. All right, I got the video 1, video 2 thing figured out. So the next thing it's time to do is mount it on our windscreen. So it's going to go something like this, and then I need to bend it up and out my way, so something like that. But for mounting, so I can get a good spot on it, I think I want to be able to have visibility through the full thing. So the way that this one works, and a lot of them work, is there's a little footprint that you mount first, and then the light slides into it. But I'm going to go ahead and leave it in here while I try and mount it. Now, a lot of them use a glue, like an epoxy, and that's what I would really recommend here. But this one, for some reason or another, don't mind this zip tie, it's just holding the wires in place. So the plan is we're going to run the wire up underneath the headliner and then back to power and everything else like that. This came with a 3M adhesive, so I'm going to go ahead and give that a try first and see how it goes. So you want to alcohol rub or paint prep the surface first on this primer. Make sure that there's no grease or wax on there that would inhibit the 3M pad from sticking. Then obviously it's pretty simple. We're just going to peel this off, stick it right there, and hold it on and hope it works. So I'm just going to center it up because I've already tested and we know we can bend it around any way that we want. So I'm taking like right about there. So I'm going to leave this on here, apply some pressure for a little bit, and hopefully when I'm done we will have a rear view mirror. All right, the 3M double-sided tape that was on the back of this thing absolutely did not work. I wouldn't recommend it. I had a feeling that that was just a bad idea. So the hardware store, or the auto parts store that I was previously at, this was the only type that they had. So when I take a lunch break, I'll run out, I'll go to a different one, and I'll get one with epoxy. But I'm gonna leave this little sticky thing, I mean, it's not really that stuck there, I could pull it off very easily. I'm gonna leave this here for now because that's where I know it needs to go. That way when I get a new one with epoxy, I'll just replace it and stick it right on there. So that's that for now, until lunch break when I can get the correct piece. I don't recommend trying to use any double-sided sticky stuff to mount a rearview mirror. They're very heavy and it puts a lot of torque on that little spot, especially when you're going over bumps and stuff like that. You definitely need some hardcore epoxy. Pretty much need the most hardcore thing you can find. Okay, I think it's time to move over to door glass. All right, door glass. First thing I'm gonna do is be very careful. The last time I messed with this door glass, I punched a hole in the front of my thumb and it hurt very badly, and it was there for 2 months. I had a chunk of glass stuck in my thumb for a very, very long time. So careful when you're working on all this stuff. There can always be little extra shards of glass hanging out that you can't see. Clear the door out of clear all the glass you can out of the door. I'm gonna do that one more time with the vacuum. Then my other tip is keep the wiring harness outside of the door, away from the glass when you get started. That's gonna help you not, if you mount up this whole wiring harness back the way you think it went, and then you put the glass in, you can easily get the glass hung up on the wires and stuff like that, and things might not go together as easily. I recommend placing the glass first, then running your wiring harness after. Other than that, I've never messed with one of these windows, so I have no idea how it's gonna work, but I'll just give it a shot and learn as I go. All right, real quick, just update on how to do this in case anyone's doing a DIY at home. If you're an Evora owner and your window did break out, I would suggest you replace it on your own. It's very, very simple from what I could see. So you got your right track here. I'm sorry, this is going to be very hard to see because the lighting does not play well with this kind of crack. And then you have your left track here. In the inside here, I'm going to try and get an angle on it. You can see these two things. There's one right there and one right there. They're going to be full of glass if your window's broken because this is a little bolt that sandwiches your piece of glass. So looking from underneath, you can kind of see what that thing is. That's what you slide your glass into, and then you tighten that bolt. So the reverse is you loosen the bolt, get the broken glass out of there. Now I'm gonna go grab my sheet of glass, slide it in from the top. The bottom of it should set inside these two little dampers, and then I will tighten it down, and with it tight there and on both of those tracks, it shouldn't be able to move out, and I think that's it. So I'm gonna do it to confirm, and hopefully we'll have a window done in a jiffy. All right, the glass install went super easy. I greased up both the rails a little bit just in case. I didn't see any grease on the tracks, but I think it's good to have a little bit of grease in there to help them slide cleanly up and down. It took me forever to get the window to actuate up and down because I couldn't find one of the plugs that was hiding back here. But once I found it, plugged it in, it works well. While I was trying to figure that out, I tested the driver's side one. That works well, so that's awesome. So the next thing that's kind of difficult is running all these wires. There's definitely a bit of a maze of how these wires go in here. They come down, out the door, and then back in. And I'm gonna go ahead and get all that done, buttoned up, and get the door panel on before I jump over to the driver's side. We're throwing the door together. Everything's going great. I got the wires ran, door panels ready to be installed, speakers installed. Everything's great, and I'm installing the the window molding that goes on the door on the inside and the outside. And I wanted to just get totally off track and ask for some viewer input. So these are very hardcore. They have a metal lining in them, and then they snap in. You can see right here, they snap in on the back side of the fiberglass, press very, very hard up against the window glass, and you can see water's not going to be able to get in there. And then something similar happens on the inside here. Keeps the door on, keeps the window on track. Everything looks great. I have a big problem with my Camaro back home where I don't think that something like this exists for the old classic Camaro. And they have these really crappy window liners and the water just comes right in. If anybody knows of a company that makes new updated, not just upgraded, not just a new pair of the old crap, but new technology using the new type of window molding stuff for a 68 Camaro. For classic car lines or anything like that, leave a comment below. I will read it, I will find it. Please let me know, and because I'd like to do some research. We're starting the Camaro build pretty soon, and weatherproofing that thing is on the top of my priority list. I need some new modern technology for the windows. If not, I'm gonna go buy some from a different car and make them work, but it'd be great if I could find one for the Camaro. So leave me a comment in this video if you know of any. Other than that, things are just progressing right along, and we're almost done. All right, door panel's on. I don't know if it came through on camera about how ridiculously hard it was to get this handle bolted on, but if you have anger management problems or you get upset easily with the stupid engineering of things, I would recommend that you ask a friend to help you on this one and you don't even look at it. I spent probably 45 minutes just trying to screw in 2 bolts. It's utterly ridiculous, but whatever, it's done now. I can't wait to go do it on the other side. So anyways, door's nice, secure. I test out the speaker, that works. Window works, car's off right now. And when I shut the door, you'll see the window sinks up into the frame, comes up into here. So everything's working great. Now I'm gonna run over to the hardware store, the auto parts store, and get the enamel or the epoxy or whatever I need to mount that rear window. Not rear window, sorry, the rear view mirror. See, I need to take a break after that. All right, we got a new kit with a new, what they're calling a button. It's a new little mount and new cleaning stuff. So we're gonna pop the old one off, which of course I knew that now that we're filming, it's gonna be tricky. So I'm just gonna be eyeing up my location. Okay, the next thing we gotta do is use this cleaning towelette thing that they provide. Smells like it's just alcohol. Let that set up for 2 minutes. While that is going, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the adhesive. You just put 1 drop of the adhesive on the button, and then we're gonna place it back where it was, right about here, and then we're done. All right, now that that has dried, we let it sit up for 2 minutes, just cutting the tip off the end of this adhesive tube. Reminding myself exactly how I want to place this. They say you put 1 dot right here in the middle. Easier said than done. All right, 1 little dab and then put it back in place. And that's it. I gotta hold this for a minute and then we gotta let it dry. Wow, that didn't dry at all. I gave it about a minute and absolutely nothing happened. Put it back on there. Oh my God. I'm gonna put it back on there and actually I'm gonna apply a little bit more. What a shit show. All right, put just a little bit more on there and to get, because the footprint wasn't really wide enough. And I'm gonna hold it on there for a lot longer. Fingers crossed. All right, well this time it's holding under its own weight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it here for a long time, and in the next episode, we'll actually load test it with the mirror and hope it works. Alrighty, moving on to a different part of the car for a little bit. If you guys remember, our taillight was stupid and did not work, and as far as I know, it still does not work. What I've tried to do so far is I took it home and I tried to bake it, hoping I could take the back off of the red part of the glass and detach them, and that was not possible. I mean, I did bake it, but nothing came apart from anything. So I don't know exactly how this thing is compiled or attached to itself. But before I go off and order a new one, I was reading on the Lotus forums that somebody had 4 lights out in their taillight, and then he ordered a brand new one, and when he plugged it in, he had the same 4 lights out. And somebody brought up a really good point. Now, I don't know how that could be possible. I assume that inside here, the LEDs are in a sequence and a circuit, and that's what's controlling all this, but I don't really know. So one thing I want to do just real quick to verify before I order a new one is I'm going to take the one out of that side and I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to take this one and put it over there and just make sure that it's my tail light and not a wiring issue. All right, no big surprise there. It's still this light, same problem. I figure it's kind of like the Christmas tree lights. When one bulb blows, it messes up the circuit for everything else. It might not be that one LED blew, but it's probably a chain circuit and something screwed up in there. So I still don't know how to take this thing apart, but I'm gonna figure that out at a different time. I'm not gonna worry about it right now because I wanna continue with the glass portion of this build. So we're gonna move back over to the doors and we're gonna focus on the driver's door and install glass, speaker, door panel, weather stripping, and just get that whole thing finished out, just like the passenger door. Driver's door is installed, and unfortunately it took a very long time, just like the other one, so a little bit less content is going to be fit in this episode because I spent a lot of hours on those. I apologize, it did not go as fast as I wanted to. So it's time to move on to doing some glass install. So what we're going to do is you can kind of see that piece of glass up there. It goes right here in this rear quarter. So we're going to do both the rear quarters and the rear hatch. Before we can prep, I want to prep everything at the same time, adhesive everything at the same time, and plop all the glass in at the same time. Do it all at the same time. So to get this prepped, we need to run the wiring first for all the electrical, which means I need to take this off the car. I need to dissect the old one, which is kind of over there by the trash pile, and run the wires through this. So I'm going to take it off the car, run the wires through this, and then we can start the glass prep process. All right, quite challenging to run all the wires, but I used some welding wire from my TIG welder to actually kind of act as a route through here. And there is a hole on the very backside. If you're ever doing this at home for any reason, there's a hole on the backside that makes it a straight shot through and out to here. So you can run a wire straight back. Anyways, all the wires are run internally through this. They go basically around that part and then back around, following the back, and then out the back there. Now, what we have here is that black primer for the 3M window weld, which is our window adhesive, and that's all the way around here. So what you do is one solid, you do a solid line around the outside, and then you do one on the inside, and it kind of just includes these wires. You just kind of adhesive them in. Next thing we got to do is both sides of the car. I'm going to go ahead and put the glass up to here, figure out where my marks are, where my safe zones are, and then we need to primer up both sides of the car. All right, it's all primed up, ready to roll. Next things we got to do, clean the backside of the glass, all three glass pieces, and then we're going to grab our pneumatic caulking gun, make a much smaller opening in that than what we did with the windshield, so we get a much smaller amount of material. We don't have a lot of room here and everything else like that. We don't want to overdo it with the material on any of these pieces. And then we're going to go ahead and lay our bead of caulking and then insert our glass, and I'm going to do each one by one. Well, I've been having a bad habit of forgetting to turn the camera on recently, and I did that with this back glass. So it's same as everything though, you know, caulking around the sides and then throw the glass in there. A lot of people wrote about painting the back hatch black, and this is why I didn't paint that back hatch black, is because the glass itself is black, and then you have that black grill right there, and that kind of finishes off the black body line. So you can see it comes down from the roof, and then this will match up with that roof line right there with black, and then it flows down and it stops right there at that nice swooping angle right there, and that's where the end of the black is coming off of the roof. So that went great. The install's great on that, and on the side windows everything went great, and now it just needs time to dry. All right guys, that's a wrap on this episode. We got all the glass done. In the next episode, we're gonna beef up our rear diffuser a little bit, make that back end look a little bit more aggressive, and we will focus on finishing off our what are those things called? Side mirrors. I got brand new side mirrors. The other ones that I had on there were a little bit junk, and I didn't like the build quality of them, so I upgraded them with some more expensive, better built, but still carbon fiber F1 style mirrors that I'm super excited to get on there. If I had to guess, I'd say we got 2 episodes left until this build is done. So I'm getting very, very excited that it's really close to being able to be my daily driver. So cool. Until then, I'm driving the FJ Cruiser around, and it's awesome. It's very, very fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. If you want to find more of us, head over to facebook.com/BisForBuild, or we are BisForBuild on Instagram. If you like Bis for Build and you like what we do and you want to help support, maybe you want to buy one of our brand new shop flags, like the Lotus Evora shop flag right up there. Look, look. Those are available. Oh, now the camera's sideways. Those are available at bisforbuild.com. Go there, scroll down to the shop, and pick yourself up any of that merch. All the proceeds go directly towards helping us with this build or the next build. I think that's about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Peace!